This is one of my favourite things to teach. I'm really passionate about whistle training because I think it's a fantastic tool to have in your training toolkit. It's really important that the 3 whistles are completely different from one another. So there's consistency and clarity as to what you're asking the dog to do. My clients understand how important a tool it can be, how it could have potential to be a guaranteed recall, how it's got potential to be supercharged up so the dog, when they hear it, it's going to be one of those red button moments that the dog should respond to it no matter what. Recall whistles are something I am so passionate in talking about, and you can probably tell from this, how I'm explaining this. My pet peeve, and I'm allowed to say this, my pet peeve is the recall whistle having a certain amount of pips. For me, it needs to be a frequent series of pips. There are times that recall can go wrong. The dog has seen Sammy the squirrel running up the tree, or Derek the deer is gone for a nice little skip around the woods, and your dog's gone to chase after it. Hopefully they haven't gone past the point of no return. And every client I meet that hasn't come to me and learnt whistle from the beginning always says I do 2, 3 or 4 pips. If it's a really windy day and they might only hear 2 or 1 of them, is it a stop whistle? Or if they don't hear it at all, it's really important to do a frequent series of pips until the dog comes all the way back to you. Once the whistling has stopped, then the reinforcement gets presented, whether it's food or a toy. So I really emphasise to my clients, it's super duper important to do that frequent series until the dog comes back to you, so that there's no miscommunication of that recall. Okay, they're not worrying how many pips are being done. I think clients concentrate too much on counting those pips in their head as well. So to just simplify it for you, the dog, to make sure you super succeed in this, a frequent series of pips until the dog comes back. This is an example of what a lot of clients come to me with, which sounds very similar to a stop whistle. Whereas a recall whistle, how I teach it, is going to be that frequent series. Big deep breath, push your tummy out with the air and keep going. Very different to and. So it's really important to be able to differentiate. So following on from that, stop whistle, clear as day, a long pip. Okay, the emergency stop is something that has been a game changer with my clients. It could be a scenario, for example, you're in a field and a tractor's ploughing it and you need the dogs to stop and then recall them into you. It could be you've gone into a field and it's lambing season. Oh God, there's lambs everywhere. We need to not disturb any livestock. Stop whistle, but in this instance, the dog stops, you go over and put a lead onto them. Okay? Likewise, a dog's running up towards you and you think to yourself, Jesus, don't want to have that situation there. You could do a stop whistle, hold the dog in position, dog goes past, and then you could carry on about your walk. So a stop whistle can have a multitude of different contexts. That's why it's called a stop, not a stay and not a wait, because it's a stop because we want the dog to stop in its tracks, look to us for instruction, which could be a wait there, and then we move on. It could be a stay, where the dog stays put as we go to them and put a lead on, or it could be a recall, quick come into me, let's get out of this scenario quickly and safely. So a stop whistle is really important. A little tip for clients, again, normally it's pretty good once we've had this discussion, but some of them might get a little bit keen and do a quick pip. So it would sound like this. And again, you want to make sure it's really clear. So for me, it's the word stop play in my head. So then it's about 2 to 3 seconds long on average. And therefore, we then get the stop whistle. For me, a hunt whistle sounds like a owl. Don't be afraid to practice this before you introduce the dog. We actually do practice sessions before clients actually start doing recall whistle and stop whistle, so they feel comfortable having the piece of equipment and using it. Because if you're then trying to create the association with the dog and you're feeling uncomfortable and worried about what you're sounding like, you're not actually then creating that successful association. So hunt whistle for me sounds like a owl, and I always think of the sound twit-two in my head. So this is what it normally sounds like to me. I take a deep breath in and then I do almost a shorter pip with then a longer one afterwards to almost do a twit. Don't be afraid to really practice this one. A lot of clients get excited when the dogs get into the area and go too fast. And then it can actually sound like a recall whistle. So be really mindful to make sure that there's a clear differentiation with that, so that then it doesn't merge into that recall whistle.